time for the Prince of Persia Rival Swords review for the Wii. Now, I have never played any of the Prince of Persia games for any console, and since Rival Swords is basically the same game as Two Thrones, it has received mixed reviews. But I'm not going to add that factor into the score, since I've never played Two Thrones. The story is about you, the Prince of Persia, how he comes to his home Babylon on the Euphrates River with Kylina after the events in Prince of Persia Warrior Within. As the boat turns the final corner, it reveals Babylon under attack. The prince and Kylina are attacked as well, and both are thrown into the river. Kylina drifts ashore and is captured by some guards and is taken away. The prince also drifts ashore and now sets out to find and save Kylina. There is a lot more to tell, and I was just about to, like right after I pre-read the script just now, but I realized that it would spoil some of the game, so I'm sorry, but this is as far as I will go into the story. As you go through the game, you will eventually turn into a darker form of yourself. In this form, you have gained more strength, speed, and a new weapon called the Dragon's Tail, which is like a spiked chain that can be used as a weapon or a chain to hook onto items. But the downside of this new form is that your health will continue to drop until it runs out, and then of course you die. But to prevent this, you will have to find special sand that regenerates your life. It can be obtained by killing off your enemies and breaking open pots and containers. This game, by far, has the best graphics when it comes to the cinematics I have ever seen for a Wii title. Now, the graphics for when you're actually playing look amazing as well, but I still can't get over how well the cinematics looked. If you've never played a Prince of Persia game like me until this one, the main principle of the gameplay is not to fight, but to go through the levels using the prince's acrobatic skills, such as wall running, flipping, and almost defying gravity itself. I have mixed reactions for the controls. They were almost perfect when it came to using your acrobatic skills. Move with the analog stick and the nunchuck, and use the A, B, and Z buttons to jump, wall run, roll, etc. So I had pretty much no problem with those, but I kind of did when it came to the fighting controls. To swing your weapon or weapons, swing the Wiimote and or nunchuck. It doesn't sound hard, and it actually isn't, but there are a lot of combos you can pull off by swinging the Wiimote and nunchuck in a precise order. The problem is just that though. When facing multiple enemies, you don't want to think of precise combos, because the motion sensors can become either under or oversensitive. I never really bothered with the combos that much, because if you just swing both controllers constantly in no particular order, you'll do just fine and kill off your enemies with ease. So the whole point I'm trying to say is that there really isn't a lot of strategy when it comes to fighting. There is a special principle to the fighting mechanics that I've seen in two previous Wii titles that I've played, where the game will go into an automatic fight mode, where you'll have to swing the Wiimote at just the correct times to receive an instant kill. The camera was very well done. You can move it freely around the prince using the directional pad on the Wiimote. You can also press the 1 button in certain areas to get a bird's eye view, and press the 2 button for a first-person view. The voice acting was very well done. No complaints at all. In this game, you don't get a choice of when you want to change forms, like you do in Spider-Man Web of Shadows with his red and blue and black suit. In this game, when you get to a certain part in the level, it will automatically change for you. I've always wanted to play a game where you have like 1 to 2 seconds of reaction time to get through the levels or else you'll die, and this is the closest game to come to that style. You will have to think quickly if you want to succeed. Throughout the game, you will gain a special ability called the Recall Power. This awesome ability will allow you to go back in time for up to about 10 seconds, which is just enough time to correct a mistake like falling from too high up and try again. I thought this was one of the coolest things in the game. There are other special abilities like the Eye of the Storm, which basically slows down time so you can maneuver through faster than your enemies or pass through doors that will quickly shut as soon as you open them. You only have 1 life, but infinity continues. A lot of this game is about trial and error, so the Recall Power is like your best friend in the game, and trust me, you will use it quite a bit. Each time you use a special ability, it will consume 1 sand tank, located at the top left of the screen. There are a total of 6 sand tanks, but you will have to play through the game to acquire all of them. To refill the sand tanks, either kill your enemies or break open pots and containers that are littered throughout the levels, just like you would to refill your life when you are the darker form of the prince. Each level is very lengthy. It will take you at least an hour trying to get through each one, which was fine by me. I love lengthy games, so this one fit the bill very well. The boss fights were very fun, but could be very challenging as well, like this first boss. This big fat ugly looking abomination that has no lower jaw was actually quite challenging to defeat, which made the game more fun to play. Throughout the game, you will acquire sand credits, which are used to purchase items in the art gallery. It's nothing special, but it's still fun to collect. Prince of Persia Rival Swords is a great game. Amazing graphics, great platforming controls, good fighting controls, lengthy think-fast levels, terrific voice acting, and the price tag is only $20. The only downside was that killing off your enemies didn't take a lot of strategy, since flailing your wrists pretty much did the trick every time. But overall, this game was so fun to play. Now remember, I'm not judging the game on the account that it's basically the same game as Prince of Persia Two Thrones, because I've never played that game. So with that said, this game gets a 4.25 out of 5 with the title of Awesome.